to Tapping Into You with Tappin' Girl. Today's Red Nose Day. Did you know that? That means we are dating the show, actually. Okay. We are going to be tapping today on pain. We got lots and lots to do in a short amount of time. I'm only going to be able to wear this another minute. So while I've got this on, I'm going to tell you what Red Nose is. Red Nose Day is a way to donate and make a difference for kids. If you just go find Red Nose Day on your phone, we just did. And we couldn't believe it. By donating $1, you give a kid in a shelter a lunch, a meal. By $5, they get an antibiotic to treat pneumonia. $35, an eye exam for a child in need. So it's a really, really cool, awesome thing going on. It's a way to do it all with fun. We're doing it with fun. Okay, that's all I can do with that. Okay, because we had them on for 5 minutes before you got here. So it's not like we just put them on and took them off. They're soft. They're nice. Go wear them, play, share some joy. Okay. Here we are tapping into you, and I've got Lisa with me again.
Hi.
I went the right way. It's hard to do this backwards thing. This is Lisa, and she does Reiki and oils and some other cool stuff, and I'm going to have her tell you more about herself here in a few minutes. And we are also talking about putting together some cool things, kind of like girl spa days, where I do the tapping. I have another lady I'm going to talk about who does foot reflexology. She does a thing called raindrop and the Reiki, and I think it's going to be a fun day. I'm not sure when we're going to do it yet. I would like to thank my sponsor, the people who make this possible for you to come and see this show and pull it up and retap with us, and that is Noblesville Trophies. They offer a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. They provide you with same-day service for the last-minute decisions. You can contact them at 773-7391, and also Logan Street Signs and Banners, and the way you get them is 773-7200. They will do signs and banners for all kinds of stuff that you need. You can find them at www.loganstreetsigns.com. So thank you again to our wonderful sponsors, and I do want to mention here, if you'd like to be a sponsor for the show, go find me at tappinggirl.com or on Facebook or tappinggirl77 at Gmail, and let me know that you'd like to be a sponsor for the show, because we love to have sponsors for the shows. Okay, next. Lisa, why don't you tell us what you do?
Thanks, Colette. Hi, I'm Lisa, and I am a Reiki master working with energy points on the body. I also do essential oils, Young Living distributor. So, and doing the raindrop technique, which is a great reliever of pain, inflammation, and all. So I'm looking forward. You guys keep posted for that information coming up. Some kind of activity we're going to do together. Yes, because that was
kind of born out of yesterday. I actually met up with a lady. Her name is Mary Lokers. She does foot reflexology. She came to my home. We switched tapping for the foot reflexology, and I did definitely feel a difference. And what we're looking at doing is setting up a day where somebody comes through and taps with me, then they go to Mary and get the foot reflexology, then you end up with Lisa and get a little bit of Reiki, maybe the raindrop technique, and it'd be kind of like a spa healing day. Right. So it would be really fun. So like I said, find us, find Lisa, find me, find somebody. We'll be talking about it again when we do it on the show. I also want to remind you that on Tuesdays at 1 o'clock, if you happen to be around Fishers or Indianapolis, Tuesdays at 1 o'clock, we have a tapping class that I run at 8923 South Street, which is pretty much at I-16 and 69. It's a lady who owns a business. It's called Practical Hypnosis and Associated Healing Arts, and we do tapping there. Right now, the group is small. It's about 6 of us. The fee is very minimal. It's $10 for an hour of tapping. So come and join us for all that fun, because it's really, we get a lot of stuff moved, because one of the cool things about tapping is we don't have to only tap on our issue. We get a thing called borrowing benefits, where when you sit down and you tap with us, it doesn't matter what your issue is. And segue into today. By tapping along with us about pain, you will actually get relief on your issue. It doesn't care if it's money, it doesn't matter if it's family, it doesn't matter what it is, because the energy body is the same thing that we're working with. If you're not real familiar with what tapping is, go to one of our previous shows, find it online, EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, and or tapping. And it's really easy to learn. It's awesome to be used for everything. Like I said, one of the biggest challenges in what I do is I work with people that have a shift and they think they just changed their mind. Okay, well you did, but I kind of helped you get there. Tapping is amazing. You can use it by yourself. You can visualize all kinds of stuff. So in talking about the pain, we're actually going to talk about yesterday first. Yesterday I got a text from Lisa saying that she wasn't sure she was going to be able to join us today because she wasn't feeling really well. You had a bunch of talk about what you had going on.
Okay, so I felt I had a sore throat coming on. I had some sinus stuff going on, and I still kind of have it, but I am so much better than what I was yesterday. Oh, terrible. Didn't want to talk.
And when I said, well, tell me about it, because we're texting back and forth, she says, it's just so irritating. Well, I'm already in my Louise Hay book, where it's like a map of the body, where you can find out, not always, but a good amount of the time, how much, where that is in the body so that we can start to tap. Now, it was really crazy because at the same time, I am voice texting her. My husband ran across the room to see what sinus stuff was, and it's irritation to someone close. And sometimes that person close to us is ourselves. That irritation that I'm not doing better, I haven't chose different, I have whatever. Now, it can also signify being in a situation that's irritating. So I basically said, because you've got some stuff going on in your throat, maybe you have some issues with speaking up, and just said, go tap on that. Go voice it, tap on it. You can't do it wrong. And she did do some tapping yesterday. She did do it with her magical oils. And lo and behold, this morning, she's telling me I had a great night's sleep. It was all great.
Oh my gosh.
You got big insight on your stuff.
I sure did. And you know what? After I did the tapping, I took a nap too.
Yay.
So by the evening, before I went to bed, I was like, gosh, I could actually talk, and I feel like I've got my energy back. So then this morning, I'm like, oh, I'm excited to be here. Yeah,
it's really awesome how this works when you start connecting the pieces. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going to a commercial. We're going to let you see our sponsors, and when we come back, because I want a little longer segment in the middle, we're going to start tapping about pain. So we'll see you back here in a few minutes. Just go ahead and start tapping while you're waiting for us.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Welcome back. Okay, folks, here we go. We're going to do a little bit of talking about pain. First of all, Yeah, I bet you never thought about this before, but your body's pretty brilliant. Your body has information for you when it's feeling pain, and a lot of times in the beginning stages, we don't pay attention. If that were when you went to tapping, you would probably not have it get quite so big because, a little twinge in the hip becomes a bigger thing. Whereas remembering that tapping is always about finding that emotion, okay, that negative emotion that's buried in there.
Yeah, I think sometimes when I'm feeling like a headache or, I'm thinking it's going to go away. You know what I mean? You're thinking, just some time, it'll go away.
Instead, if you would just go, I got this headache, why won't it go away? Here it is again. This is really, really simple, easy stuff to do. I'll tell you again, a lot of people make the words too hard. Pretend you're picking up the phone and telling a therapist or a friend or somebody about what's going on while you're tapping. By the way, that reminds me, I am not a medical doctor and I am not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, so if you're under a doctor's care, if you're receiving treatment, you continue with that. You can use this in addition to. Okay, your brilliant body has information for you. Now, just think about this for a minute. Most of us, because the way we talk to ourselves and talk to our body, dang body, body's in pain, body's doing that, okay? Your body would probably pick a new human if it could. Think about that for a minute. Things do better, work better when we praise, okay? But how many times do we feel betrayed by our body? We feel like, oh no, I got this thing again. Why is my body doing this? And because it's the very thing I worry about, it's probably the thing I bring up while I'm at the luncheon and I don't want to be sick to my stomach or whatever it is. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so one of the things I say with tapping all the time is start where you are. So let's say you've got a pain going on, okay? And the very first thing that's going on is, oh no, I don't need this now. I'm going somewhere or it hurts too much, okay? And you just go to the karate chop and you would say, even though I have this pain right now.
Even though I have this pain right now.
And I'm afraid it won't go away.
And I'm afraid it won't go away.
I choose to love and accept myself.
I choose to love and accept myself.
And even though I have this pain in my body.
And even though I have this pain in my body.
Now you want to name it, you want to give it a color, you want to describe it as much as you can, so we're going to do this. Even though I have this pain in my hip, in my body.
Even though I have this pain in my hip, in my body.
And it's red.
And it's red.
And I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway.
Because a lot of people will tell me that pain is red. Okay? And that signifies anger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so even though I have this buried anger pain.
Even though I have this buried anger pain.
In my body.
In my body.
I deeply and profoundly.
I deeply and profoundly.
Love and forgive myself.
Love and forgive myself.
And accept all of me.
And accept all of me.
Now go to the eyebrow. We're going to tap there, but first I'm going to tell you. One of the things you might notice right away is that pain either spike or go down right away because it's just glad you're acknowledging it. So on the eyebrow, we acknowledge this pain in my hip.
I acknowledge this pain in my hip.
Side of the eye, this red pain in my hip.
This red pain in my hip.
Okay, now under the eye, I'm going to talk again. When it's in your hip, that tells me that you've got an issue with connecting with joy. Okay? Right here under the nose. I get so angry.
I get so angry.
Chin. They impede my joy.
They impede my joy.
Collarbone. I bet somebody thought of something right there, don't you think? Yeah, okay. All this anger in my hip.
All this anger in my hip.
Under the arm. All this pain in my hip.
All this pain in my hip.
Top of the head. All this anger in my hip.
All this anger in my hip.
That's manifested as pain.
That's manifested as pain.
Go to the eyebrow. All this fearful pain.
All this fearful pain.
Because usually what happens is then we start to get fearful. How long is it going to be there? Can I get rid of it? All of those things, right? All this fearful pain.
All this fearful pain.
Under the eye. All this fearful pain.
All this fearful
And then
pain.
name the body part. Under the nose. All this fearful pain.
All this fearful pain.
Chin. All this fearful pain.
All this fearful pain.
Collarbone. Here it is again.
Here it is again.
Under the arm. When it shows up, I get freaked.
When it shows up, I get freaked.
Top of the head. All this fearful pain.
All this fearful pain.
Now take a nice breath. When I say take a nice breath, I really want you to fill up your belly. That's where we move energy, okay? Now, remember, it's not uncommon for you to want to cry, feel sad, yawn, sneeze, burp, any of it. Okay, it's all normal and natural, and it means that we're moving energy, okay, in the body. All right, so the reason that we went to that from the angry to the fearful is because a lot of times when we feel pain, we go into that, oh no, here it is, okay? And remember, with tapping, we're just telling the truth. Just tell the truth, and you can't get it wrong. It makes me feel so helpless. Now, let's say that we're following the emotion, okay? What if that pain makes me feel really powerless and helpless, okay? The next brilliant question you want to ask yourself is, when else in my life have I felt that powerless and helpless feeling? Because that's going to lead us back to a time where you put that in there as a place to store it, okay? So let's just use as an example. Maybe you were going through a divorce. Maybe you knew you were going to be getting a divorce. Or maybe your first marriage made you feel so powerless. That was part of the thing. So we're just going to play with that and use that. Now, normally you would rate that and you want to say, oh yeah, my ex made me feel so powerless. Okay? Not to make anybody the bad guy. We're just using examples. And you can go right along with these examples and you may get relief.
Right.
Okay? So rate that on a 0 to 10. My last partner made me feel so powerless, or somebody, my father, my mother, my neighbor, my preacher, whoever. Okay? Rate it 0 to 10. Got your rating? They made me feel so helpless and powerless. There we go to the karate chop. Even though I remember feeling so helpless and powerless.
Even though I remember feeling so helpless and powerless.
And this pain in my hip reminds me of it.
And this pain in my hip reminds me of it.
What a brilliant body.
What a brilliant body.
And I love and accept myself.
And I love and accept myself.
And even though this pain in my hip
Even though this pain in my hip
reminds me of that powerless and helpless feeling,
reminds me of that powerless and helpless feeling,
I deeply and profoundly love and forgive myself.
I deeply and profoundly love and forgive myself.
And appreciate this awareness
And appreciate this awareness.
of connecting my emotional stories.
Of connecting my emotional stories.
Ooh, that was so good. Here we go. All this powerlessness and helpless in my hip.
All this powerlessness and helplessness in my hip.
It reminds me of that person.
It reminds me of that person.
Under the eye. It reminds me of how they made me feel.
It reminds me of how they made me feel.
Under the nose. They made me feel so helpless and powerless.
They made me feel so powerless and helpless.
Chin. All that powerlessness they made me feel.
All the powerlessness and helpless they made me feel.
Yep, collarbone. That I stored in my hip.
That I stored in my hip.
Under the arm. That's impeding my joy.
That's impeding my joy.
Top of the head. Oh, this brilliant body.
This brilliant body.
Take a nice breath. Man, I love this stuff. I love this stuff. Okay, if you're not loving this stuff, just do it some more, because
You'll find
seriously, you'll find it. I remember when I first started hearing all this, and they'd say, "Oh, you'll feel it," and I'd be like, "Yeah, right," because I have a lot of people that show up the first time, and I say, "Where do you feel that in your body?" And they go, "I don't know," and I go, "That's just a default. You really do," because what I'm doing is, I tell some people I'm an emotional shaman. I reconnect you to your emotions. Okay? Because you were trained out of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to another break from our sponsors. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Keep thinking about that pain and bring me your info. See you in a minute.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Welcome back, welcome back. Hey, listen, even if you think you're not getting anything out of this, keep coming back and doing it, because eventually you'll catch up to you. Tapping into you.
So.
I want to mention about what it is that we're doing in another way that another practitioner says. Her name is Carol Look, and she has a really brilliant way of talking about the tapping and what we're doing is. What we're actually doing is, let's say you're in front of your computer. You cannot change a Word document unless you bring that file up. So what we're doing is we're bringing up the file, and then we're editing that document, okay, by doing the tapping while we're addressing the negative emotional aspects. So it's like editing that document so we can dispense the negativity, line back up with the positivity. Anybody who's worked with me knows that I say it's a two-part process. We're tapping out the garbage, we can tap in the good stuff, okay? Because tapping in your affirmations is like affirmations on steroids.
Yeah.
Okay, you've heard me say that before probably. So what we're doing is we're bringing up that file. Okay, so I used to explain to people that negative emotions are like clogging up, and we're going to use Jim's example, a pixie stick. Okay, you got this beautiful fun sugar in there. Okay, so you put a little water in it, gets stuck. A little water gets stuck. Okay, what we're doing with the tapping is we're opening up that straw, that PVC pipe, that pixie stick, so that now it can flow through. Okay, and you don't have to worry about how it works. If you think you have to know how this works, then I challenge you to tell me exactly how your car works before you drive it. Okay, because you drive a car and you don't know exactly how it works. And if you're one of the 3 people on the planet that does, I don't need to hear about it. The other 97% of the people are saying, I don't need to know how it works. Just do it. You will feel the relief, the relaxation, the release of the stress.
Definitely.
Okay, so other things that you do as you're tapping about that pain, you just follow what comes up. Now, let's say you go from being afraid of the pain to being angry, okay, because we did some anger, ants, and fear. Let's say you keep going and you find out you feel sad. Okay, then again you connect the dots. When have I felt this kind of sadness before? Okay, and you're going back into that story. Now, we don't just follow the story that comes up. There's a really brilliant thing goes on with tapping called chasing the pain. Have I told you about chasing the pain? Okay. Chasing the pain is, let's say it starts out in my hip. Okay. And then after I've tapped a little bit, the pain in my knee or my ankle or my hamstring gets bigger. Okay. I'm going to follow that pain in my body while I'm tapping and addressing how it feels, the symptoms of it, and all of that. And it's going to lead me back to like the original place. Yes. And so if it starts in the hip and then I feel it in the hamstring, then it's the knee or it's the back or it's the neck or whatever. Keep following that pain, readdressing it, go to the karate chop, even though now I have this pain in my neck.
Yes.
You say, oh, and see how we do the metaphors of it? Who's a pain in your neck?
Oh, yeah.
Because chances are, after you've named everybody else, it's probably you. Don't you hate when that happens? Okay. So you're following that through your body until you feel it come down. Now, the next day, if you're feeling that pain again, it's probably changed in intensity. It's probably changed in location.
Right.
It's probably changed in the emotion. And that's why the tapping's so brilliant. Just keep telling the truth of what it is. Follow that. And you get all
Eventually.
that. Yes. Now, let me mention a couple things here. Again, thank you to our sponsors that make this possible. And if you'd love to be a sponsor for this show, because there's more and more people that are watching it that want to know this stuff, and it's a great platform to get your stuff out there. But I would like to thank Logan Street Signs and Banners. They special in last-minute signage and banners. They've been serving Noblesville since 1992. Since I was just a baby. Oh, you can contact them.
That's 1892.
Oh, whoops. Okay. Forgot my birth year, I guess. 317-773-7200. Find them at www.loganstreetsigns.com. Also, Noblesville Trophies. They do the last minute stuff when you weren't thinking about what you needed last minute. So you bring them all of your stuff. You find them at 317-773-7391 or check them out at noblesvilletrophies.com. See this? Big thank you to our sponsors. We love our sponsors. Okay, and our sponsors love us. Don't they?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, they do. Okay, we got the peanut gallery. They're usually yelling out from somewhere in here. I also want to tell you that on Friday nights that there are the classic movie events that are happening at Forest Park on the Fridays of this summer.
And Noblesville.
and Noblesville, and that they are doing closed captioned. Now, that's really cool because that way, I love closed caption personally, because sometimes when you miss what somebody's saying and you got that closed caption, makes it so good. So make sure you check out www.classicmovieevents.com. Go and see what their lineup, because I will tell you their big season finale is Star Wars: The Force Awakens. And then you want to see that. And yeah, you just bring your chair and your snacks and all your fun and have a good time. Let's see. We got a couple minutes left. Oh, yes, with the 500 race this weekend. See, they have to keep telling me what's going on. With the 500 race this weekend, what we want to do is we want to do a nice little tap about the safety at the race and the safety of all and all of those good things. So let's just do that all from the positive aspect. And and actually, I think this was my husband's idea, because he's going and he wants to make sure he's in a bubble of white and pink light. Yeah, I think this is self-serving. So anybody who's going or watching it, plus we just found out, I hope this is not wrong, that for the first time ever, they're lifting the blackout.
Yes. Yeah.
So all of because they sold out. So all of us in Indiana who never got to see it before now actually get to see it. So this is the 100th running. And so let's go to the karate chop. Even though the race is this weekend.
Even though the race is this weekend.
And things could happen.
And things can happen.
I'm affirming
for
the safety and protection of all.
For the safety and protection of all.
And with the 500 race this weekend.
And with the 500 race this weekend.
And all the events leading up to it.
And all the events leading up to it.
I'm affirming for the safety of all.
I'm affirming for the safety of all.
And even though there's all kinds of activities.
And even though there's all kinds of activities.
And awesomeness going on this weekend.
We
want to affirm for the safety of all.
We want to affirm for the safety of all.
On this Memorial Day weekend. Everyone who's involved. Whether they're in it. Watching it. Listening to it. The safety of all. Right here. We are pre-paving for an awesome holiday weekend. So yeah, who doesn't love an awesome holiday weekend? Under the eye. We are pre-paving for the safety of all. Under the nose, it's going to be an awesome weekend. Chin, everyone's going to be safe and protected. Collarbone, I want to put the track in white light. Under the arm, so everyone stays safe and protected. So they can all come back and see Colette in a couple weeks. Safe and protected. You all have a fantastic holiday weekend. We're going to see you back here for the next Tapping Into You. Until then, keep tapping into you.